What's up, y'all? It has been a long time since I have been in this space, right? But I'm excited. I'm excited to be back. Um, Even more excited to be here and just to have an opportunity to talk to you guys and just chop it up about what's been going on, the people that I've been blessed to meet. And tonight's guests are truly pillars, leaders, innovators, creatives, and guys. Just to bring it back to the surface, many of you know It's Consulting Time is a platform that was put into place so that independent creatives had a space to come and just really talk their talk, walk their walk, and really have an amazing experience, right? And so our motto is purpose over popularity, and we're always bringing you what? Joy, jewels, and justice. So I definitely am so glad you guys are here with us. And we're going to bring out our esteemed guest of the evening. So the first young lady I'm speaking with tonight is Miss Mavis SWAN Poole, and she has been crowned Little Ella by the late legendary trombonist Curtis Fuller. She is an award-winning vocal musician, and she's generated quite a buzz in the international music scene. So, without further ado, I want to bring out Mavis, and let's just have an amazing time getting to know this miraculous young lady. Hello, hello.
Hi, Queen. How are you?
I am doing amazing, and yourself?
I am awesome with no complaints.
Listen. Don't complain because they always say don't nobody want to hear it. So let's just keep it moving. You already know how that go.
Yeah.
So Mavis, tell us a little bit about yourself. You know where you're from, kind of how you got this groove going, and then we're gonna dive right in.
Okay. I was born and raised in Durham, North Carolina. I stayed there for all of my younger years. After graduating college, I moved to New York. And I stayed in New York for 11 years. That's where my career, most of my career was built. And I'm a mother of two. Both of my babies are Brooklyn babies. So I have a 6 year old going on 60 and a 9 year old going on 90. And after I had them, I moved back to North Carolina to kind of have, give them a slower pace or whatever. And they go home, of course, every summer, every chance they get, they're back in New York. So I'm an educator. I've been teaching for over 20 years. And that's it. I mean, I definitely doing my thing as an artist. That's always going to be a part of my life. But I think it's also
Absolutely.
to teach other people, especially Black and Brown people, to do the things that I've been blessed to do, and kind of share the wealth, because people definitely took time out and sacrificed for me. So I just try to give back whenever and wherever I can.
Yes, ma'am. So amazingly, guys, not only is Mavis a vocal musician, but she is an educator. And that was one of the things I kind of wanted to kind of dive in before we even really talk about the music, because I think that a lot of times people get so hung up on the creative big thing that we're doing that they forget about the service,
Mm.
right? They forget about the practical things that we do. So tell us a little bit about music education and kind of how you got into it, and then how that transitioned you in to Mavis Swan Poole.
Okay. Well, if I'm being transparent, which I will be, when I was very very young, before I turned 17, I was still 16. I got into a bit of trouble, and I had to do probation because of this trouble that I had gotten into. I had not yet realized that music was my path, so I was finding my way, getting frustrated with life because nothing worked. Nothing was sinking a certain way. So eventually, music I credit music for saving my life because Lord knows everything changed when I found out my purpose. But before then, like I said, I got into a little bit of trouble and had to do probation. And one of the ladies that went to the church I went to kind of got me into working with other people. That's kind of how it got introduced to me. I did not like kids. If I'm being honest, when I was younger, I did not like kids. I could have never seen this in my future. I didn't see it. But eventually, when I was 19, actually, I started. She told me to start as a substitute teacher. She's the one that got me into the school system and whatever else. And I started subbing, and it was at risk. All the schools that I worked at usually are at risk schools with students that are struggling and people with all kinds of problems and whatever else. So it was the first time I really saw um, what giving back to somebody younger than me felt like, somebody else felt like. And I felt like I was making a difference and it felt good. So I stayed with that. And then I went into music education after I got my degree and whatever else. And oh, that really blew my mind because I was able to do what I love as well as being able to give to young people. And it really it found me. Education and music, they both found me and saved my life and just kind of put me on a path where I felt like I had a reason to wake up and do something. Like it wasn't just about me anymore. You know, I got into a lot of trouble when I was living for myself, because like they say that the idle mind is the devil's workshop or the devil's playground, idle time, all of that. It was a lot of time where I just didn't know what to do with myself. But once I had other young people to care for and give my time and attention to, it was truly life changing. So, that's kind of how things started. And I'm still in it today.
That's amazing. So that's a testament to when you really do find your why, the clarity is what makes you feel so good. And then once you get that clarity, you can be consistent in what you're doing. And that consistency has driven you to be able to do some amazing things. Now, you have performed and shared the stage with like the likes of Lauren Hill, Cheryl Crow, my girl Shirley Caesar. And let me just say, as soon as you said that you grew up in Durham, North Carolina, baby, I'm from Danville, Virginia. So we're only like 45 minutes north of Durham and Greensboro. So it's something about that region that just yields amazing individuals who are filled with the purpose to do great. And so kudos to you and shout out to the triangle. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to that Raleigh Durham area. Um, but as you've grown, right, as you've grown in your music and you're continuing to grow, what do you feel that your mission is as a music artist?
um, to minister. That's my big thing. It's literally it's ministry to me. I don't care if it's sexual. I don't care if it's whatever it is. These are all parts of the human experience, and there's a way that things can be presented, and it feeds some point. Everything has a place, and it all has, like, I couldn't just sing gospel or just sing jazz or just sing this or that. Like, it all has a place at the table because we're not one dimensional as people. So it's I think it's important to me to make sure, first of all, I loved it. What did you say your thing was? Purpose.
Purpose over popularity,
I love
always.
I When I heard that, I said, yes, ma'am, that's it. It's that type thing. I'd rather make music that matters than just make popular music. So that's a strong, amazing, amazing slogan. I love that. And it's that
And we
vein.
have to stand in it.
Say it again.
We have to stand in it. We have to stand in it. We have to embrace it. We have to walk in it because sometimes when we get out there and we get amongst the powers that be, you tend to get swayed by what you think is acceptable. And you notice that acceptable starts with an A. And you
Right.
always want to be on a list. And I always say, well, I don't want to be on that list. I want to be on the list.
Hmm.
Matter of fact, I don't even want to be on a list. I want to be on the scroll. Do you follow me?
I love it. I love it.
So talk to us a little bit about the music that you're creating.
Well, like I said, is music that matters to me. And I've learned to just be authentic to myself. And doing that lets me know that everybody won't get it. And it's not for everybody. And that's okay. As opposed to being fake or changing my message so it fits everybody, I just know it'll draw those people that can relate. And then I don't have to pretend when I'm on stage because it's really coming from me. You know, I think that's a big thing about where I feel a lot of artists lose it because they try to become something as opposed to just being who they are, you know. So when I'm myself, I teach my students when you're yourself, then you don't have to pretend. You can just do what you do. You can be yourself, you know. So the music that I make is just a reflection of either my experiences or people that I know and loved or people that I know and didn't love, whichever way it goes. Just, you know, but true experiences that I can speak from on whatever level, you know, whether it be my own or me being the observer and seeing the situation.
Absolutely. And sometimes we get into situations where we really do have to decide, am I going to stay on this journey and build this following, or am I going to get on the journey and build the qualitative data? Because, the world says that we need to live by quantitative data, but the older I get and the more I learn and the more I'm out here, that qualitative data matters because it tells a story. It depicts what's really going on. Numbers can be fudged, but that quality, right? Those words, you can't. It's no getting around it. It's no getting around it. And so, maybe we for the purpose-driven life that you have, and you are carving your space in this music industry and establishing a legacy. So let's talk a little bit about you had an EP, and I want to say the assignment, right?
Mm-hmm.
So project you say favorite record or records?
Did you ask? It broke up a little bit. Did you ask what is my favorite record?
Yeah, what would you say is your favorite record?
I think off of the project I have coming out, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Um, it's the one that may be released next, which is called "How Do We Grow." And "How Do We Grow" talks about well, the lyrics are: we fight, we break up, kiss and we make up, but there's no wake up. We just do the nasty. Real love is patient, as deep as the ocean, but how do we grow when we just do the oochie coochie? That's what it is. So it's
Ooh, yeah.
it's one of those songs that it speaks to being in a relationship and just kind of I tell my even my high I have high schoolers and I tell my students all the time, work slow, but work on your feet and not on your back. And I know that they don't fully know what that means yet, but they'll get it. By the time they get out there, they'll get it. Because there's so many people, and even with myself, I know I could have moved so much faster, you know, had I laid down and worked. And that's not ideal for me as a person, as a soul that has to look at myself and deal with myself every day. So when you're a woman in this industry and you have purpose and a message, and you're not easy to get a hold to, if you catch my drift, it takes you longer to move sometimes. And I've been doing this thing for a long time, and I'm okay with taking my time. I'm okay with, like, success is defined by the person that has to live it, not what everybody else considers success. So for me, I'm living a successful life. I'm taking care of my children. I'm doing what I need to do musically. I'm giving back to my community, my people. All of those things matter to me. Building legacy, even in the music. So, but that song um, basically talks about being in relationship and being uh, aware of the fact that sometimes you're just having a sexual experience over and over and over again, but you're not really connecting and dealing with the person. So you're working on your back and not on your feet, basically. So that's the one. That's the one. That's
Girl, yes. And you better tell the people over and over and over. Tell them over and over and over. Get on your feet and get off your back,
yes.
because that's true. What you're saying is so true. And I think that as women in the entertainment industry, it's important that we stay on our feet, because so many people that have come in front of us, and I mean, let's just be real. Let's take it all the way back. Generally, you were faced head on with the decision: you gonna lay down or you gonna get gone. And so many people laid down to the point where it is still today. It's so much easier to just lay down. But I'm with you. I'll deal with the footwork. I would rather have the footwork and have my respect than to lay down and be disrespected. So you are absolutely right. Indeed. So if you could have, any musician tag along with you on tour for 1 month, who would you choose?
Oh, right now I am on this reggae vibe, and I can't shake this thing. It's a few. It's a few. I would take coffee. I would take chronics. Um, and then I would switch it up and take Molly Music and Jonathan McReynolds. That's who I would take.
Woo! Girl. Yes, all of those vibes. All of them. Every last one of them. That is amazing. Amazing. So, how would you say that your style kind of flows into those individuals that you would be interested in touring with?
Oh, good question. Um, Hmm. Well, I think the one thing that you would get from each of those artists that you would get from me as well is not necessarily the style, but the authenticity. The fact that the music is genuine to each person, like they're true artists. It's not that put on performer. It's they're true artists and they do what they do. So I think that would be everybody would be dope at what they do and it would be authentic to the person. So
Girl, all things authentic. That's what it is. Yes, yes, yes. And what would you say is the best piece of advice a creative or a colleague has ever given to you?
mm, nothing before it's time. Nothing before it's time. That one thing that I was in New York and I was doing something I don't even remember, but I was about to perform, and it was an older man, and I was just like, oh, like I just wish I did this sooner and da 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 da, and he just kind of calmed me down. I was like, nothing before it's time, and it just like it calmed me. It really was just like wow, and that was years ago, but it stuck with me because it just kind of reminded me of the divine nature of how things move. Like you can rush it, but you're not going to get what you would get if you take your time and let things happen organically and authentically and genuinely. Because then the creator has its hands in it, the universe has its hand in it, and it unfolds the way it's supposed to versus you forcing and trying to make something happen. And, then you got to deal with living by default, trying to fix whatever happened that wasn't supposed to happen. So nothing before it's time.
Wow, because it's all about his time and not our time, and that's just what it is. I'm with it. So, Mavis, as we begin to wind up for the evening, tell us a little bit about what we need to look forward to in the days, weeks, and months to come.
Music, music, and more music. We we're releasing. You know, the project is done. It's just a matter of waiting and releasing it in the right timing. So we've got some amazing stuff up our sleeves. The team that I'm working with, I have to shout out King Myron Ruffin, my manager. He was divinely placed into my life, and he has definitely made a huge difference in just the journey. And he works, he works, he works, he works, and he's I have a song that he actually inspired, and it's called Everyday Hero. It's also coming out on this EP. But it's just for those people that um we kind of overlook that do stuff all the time. Like he'll be on the phone, like, look, I got 13 minutes. I got to take my son to his game. Then I got to go back and cook. Then I'm going to go do this and then do this. And it's like you take it for granted that these people work so hard and do so much, which I'm sure you do, having a program like this or a platform like this and having to manage all of these different artists and work with different people, which let me honor you, Queen, for this platform and what you're doing, and just the beautiful energy that you possess and that you share, and just your brightness. All of these things, all of these things, all of these things are just what makes us or me as an artist able to do what I do. So I honor you. I honor King Myron and everybody else that just supports keeping the world going around with music, in the right way.
You know, Mavis, it's a lot to be said for those women who are able to withstand the test of time.
Mm,
Those of us who are able to stand up and say, I shall not be moved, like
mm,
a tree that's planted by the water, you know. And I speak to the roots of the tree,
mm.
and you are a rooted tree. And so, for that, I am thankful. I'm grateful to have you as the first guest. Mavis, you are the first guest for the 2023 season of It's Consulting Time. 2022 was so crazy, right? It was so crazy. And so after everything that happened in 2022, the very, very high highs and the very, very low lows, we are back. And so for you to be the first up, guys, y'all better bring it because Mavis has truly graced the platform. And we look forward to hearing more from you. So let everybody know where they can find you on all of your socials.
All things Mavis Swan Poole. MavisSwanPoole.com. My handles everywhere are Mavis Swan Poole. I got to get my followers up. My page was private for the longest, and people were like, "Look, girl, you can't be an artist with a private page." I'm like, "Well, be there for
Yes, no private pages.
now." I'm on like, "Oh, I need to get some followers." So everything is Mavis Swan Poole. We're building it up now. Now that I'm back out, and my page is not private, so just I gotta get some people. Everything is Mavis Swan Poole, so that's how y'all can follow. So please,
Absolutely. So, guys, Mavis Swan Poole, everything Mavis Swan Poole, MavisSwanPoole.com. Mavis, thank you so much for being here this evening. And we look forward to having you back again.
absolutely, Queen. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
So, guys, that was Mavis Swan Poole and an utterly amazing young lady, educator, artist extraordinaire. And so we are so grateful to have had her up. And so, guys, we're going to take a breather. And in less than 1 minute, we are going to talk to the fabulous, the esteemed Miss Yvonne Gage. Be right back. All right, guys, and we are back. And so we're going to spend a few minutes talking with another amazing musical guru. So Yvonne Gage is an individual who isn't just delivering music. You know what I'm saying? She's not just using her voice to bless the world. She's actually teaching us how to do it and do it the right way. And so, without further ado, I want to bring out Miss Yvonne Gage.
Hello.
Hello, 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 gorgeous. How are you?
Hi, I'm wonderful. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for being here and accepting the invitation. First and foremost, kudos to you for all of the amazing, right? All of the amazing things you have done. And so I'm going to let you introduce yourself to the world, and then we're going to kind of take a stroll down memory lane and talk about some of these accolades.
Okay. First of all, thank you for having me. My name is Yvonne Gage. I'm from Chicago, Illinois. I still reside in Chicago. Love Chicago. I am an R&B. I'm an R&B slash jazz, smooth jazz vocalist. I've spent my entire life doing just that.
Amazing, amazing. So, Yvonne, when did this musical journey actually get started for you? Like, and when I say get started, when did you realize this is it? This is what I'm going to be doing?
I know this sounds cliche, but I've always known. I've always known that I was a singer since a little girl. My, I guess my entry into the music world professionally was at the age of 14, and I joined a vocal group in Chicago, a local group in Chicago called the Solettes, and I went on from there to recording, touring, recording my first dance project, which is really not what I had set out to do. I hadn't set out to do that, but I had to get in where I could fit in. So my first record was on Atlantic Records, and it was in the dance category.
Wow, that's amazing. So, and how did you transition from that? Because once you get out there, it's kind of like, oh, what's
Yeah.
next? We want to see something
Yes.
similar. So, how did you transition?
Well, what was in my heart first was jazz and R&B, a close second, a close second. So it in my mind, I always knew that I would do all of them. I just didn't know at what time it was happen. It would happen. So I started doing jingles. I stopped singing, making recording for a while, for quite a few years. I started doing jingles because anybody that's in the jingle business or was in the jingle business knows that it was really lucrative at a certain time. So I stopped singing and performing and recording and all that to do jingles. And then one day, yeah, I just decided I got to get back to where I am. So I had a project or a jazz project over here, an R&B project over here, a rock project. So I've always tried to do it all.
Wow. So, you know, jingles, voiceovers, and those types of creative spaces are so important. Yvonne, can you speak to kind of what a person needs to look at or what they need to cultivate if they're interested in doing jingles? Because realistically, people are still utilizing jingles on radio.
Yeah, jingles are still around. It's nothing like what it was. But the key to doing, and this goes with anything, is to be as versatile as you can possibly be. You cannot be a one trick pony because you don't know what somebody may be looking at you for. You need to be able to step to the plate and sing sweetly, or belt it out or be sultry or be the best damn group singer that there is. It's being prepared. Being prepared.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh my guys, this is Yvonne Gage, and realistically, she is a vocal musician, a vocal coach, just an esteemed vocal earthquake, we're going to call it, because she has taken up some things. She has really done some amazing things. And so, um, Yvonne, what strengths do you have that you believe make you such a great vocal musician and vocal coach?
Well, first, because at this stage in my life, I'm still living that life. Like life, a professional life is over for a lot of singers past a certain age. And that is not the case with me. I am a living and working singer, and I can do pretty much anything that I desire to do. Um, and that's what I think that is what has given me. I think that is what has given me. No, I know that's what has given me this lifespan. It's what I want to do, and I plan on doing it until I can't do it anymore. Um, but it's
Wow.
just knowing that I can do it, and it is such a good thing to know you can do it, but to be able
Yeah.
to do it and enjoy doing it so much. There's nothing else that I would rather be doing.
God, when I listen to your voice, right? One of my favorite singers, and will forever be, is Mahalia Jackson.
Yes.
And when I listen to you, I hear her. I don't know. I hear it. I hear that depth. I hear that soul. When I listen to you, I hear her, and I can understand your ability to be able to not just exist, but to be sustained
Yes.
in this
Now,
space.
no one has ever made that comparison, but I understand where you're coming from because we're influenced by everybody. I'm influenced by everybody that I believe to be great.
Yes, yes. You just and it's more so your speaking, your understanding of how you're doing what you're doing. Because a lot of people know what to do, but there's a difference in knowing what to do and knowing how to do it. And
That is
so, yeah, you got
that,
it, girlfriend. You got it.
well, I was able at a young age to sing amongst. We have some fabulous singers in Chicago, jingle singers, R&B singers, jazz singers, and I'm not the first one. They were before me, so I'm around all this great talent, and the musicians are incredible. I've learned stuff from. I've taken away something from everybody, and that is what young people should keep in mind. Don't ever think that you have it all and you know it all. Life should always it should continue to be a learning process. I'm still learning things.
Yes, yes. And that's the beauty of it. I think that's the beauty of what you're doing and how you're moving. The fact that you're still learning and you're still able to teach us, how to do things, and the what to do, and even the why behind it, because you have to have some purpose in that passion to continue to do it day in and day out, when you know without a shadow of a doubt everybody is not going to respond the way we would like for them to respond. But I think, from what I hear and from what I gather from you, the joy isn't knowing that you are sustainable, you are planted, and it is your destiny to do this. And
Yes.
so I'm excited. I'm excited for you, and it makes me happy.
Thank you. Thank
Absolutely. Now, what is it though about music? Because you've been, you just knew that you knew that you knew. But what is it distinctly about the music that kind of makes you feel so passionate?
Wow. The music that I'm most drawn to is music that can take me on remove me from where I'm sitting and take me on a journey in my whole being. You know, that's probably one of the reasons why I like jazz as much as I do. Um, Music is a journey. It's a journey. It's medicine. It's therapy. It can fix things. It can change worlds. It can change minds. It can change hearts. It's powerful.
Oh my goodness, guys. So this is why it's important to know your why. Because when you know your why and you operate in purpose over popularity, you can sit here looking fabulous like the Miss Yvonne Gage, and you can know that that what you're doing is not in vain. And so, you are a study in leadership. You are a study in leadership, and it's so very important, right? It is
Yeah.
so very important.
Yes. You know,
Now,
I've
when it
had
comes to, oh, go ahead, go ahead.
I've had people say things to me like, "You should be here," or "You should be successful," or "You." Yeah, that's the word. You should be successful, and I am successful. I am successful. My musical life is a success. My name is not up in lights yet, but I am a success story, and that's the way that I view it.
I'm gonna be good tonight because it is the first night back after about 12 months on this particular platform. So
Welcome
I'm gonna be
back.
good. Thank you, baby. But I will say this: um, when people stop defining success by other people's standards and by what their false reality has presented to them, I think the whole world will be well off because we'll be better off. Because when we look at social media, right, and when we look at the people posted pictures and they're with this person and with that person, but when you go home, can you pick up the phone and call that person? Do you have a relationship? We can take pictures with anybody we want to
That's
on
right.
these red carpets, but do you have a relationship?
That is true.
So if you're defining your success by the lights and the people that you can take a picture with on the red carpet, you might want to go home and rethink your whole life and start it all over again because your success is defined by you finding your why. I do believe that in my heart. We all have a why. And we have to find that, but you can only find that if you be still and know. And if you don't know, then you need to go and get some business and figure it out. But anyway, we're
Girl,
back.
yes, yes, yes.
Listen, guys, this is Yvonne Gage. I said, you know, she's a Chicago native, right? Surrounded by music like jazz, R&B, and she has influenced so many music markets. Though she's not just in the U.S., she has enjoyed success in the European markets. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, what I would like for you to do, Yvonne, is tell us a little bit about how you market yourself and how you kind of figure out what place really is working for you.
Well, you just said something that is key. And the best way that I can answer that is I'm learning as I go along. I'm learning as I go along because things change. Things change from the first time that I entered into the recording world. We didn't have if you were signed to a label, you had a manager. You didn't have to do any of those things. It was done for you. As a matter of fact, they helped polish you up and get you ready. But the whole social media thing now is new to me. It's like I'm learning as I go along. I'm talking to somebody over here. I'm getting a little piece over here. Talking to somebody over there. I'm still putting it together. It is not always comfortable. It is not always. I don't. It's just. I sometimes I take chances and I just try things and you know and but it is important. You can't move forward right now without it. So I'm a work in progress in that arena.
It's oh gosh, it's so hard. Trust me, I when I say I understand, I overstay it. And it's so funny because as a millennial, you know, we really had the best of both worlds because we played with the street lights, but we also had technology. But we were not so engulfed in technology that we lost touch with the world. And Yvonne, I think that, when I just heard you say that, I'm sitting here thinking, I feel the same way, right? Where I know it matters, but in the grand scheme of things, I'm going to go back to this. You have a sustainable career. A lot of people with 1.5 million followers get 30 seconds of people's attention and that's it. But you have existed in years. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
And,
Yes.
and to me, that's success.
That's success. Yes.
And sustainability. And you know what? Let's just demystify and debunk this thing. Guys, stop talking about success. Let's talk about sustainability.
That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do.
That's it. Sustainability. It's
Yeah.
sustainability for Lily Mae and Yvonne. That's what we doing. For real.
Yes.
So
That's the
what
new.
are you working on right now?
Well, I have a new album. I have a new album. It's entitled Feel Love. It is a mishmash. It's smooth jazz. It's R&B. It's new, a little new school mixed with old school, and I think this is my best piece of work to date. And the album is climbing along. I'm just waiting to see where it's going to take me. But I'm always working on the next thing. So I went back in the studio as soon as I was done with this project, and I just completed a house project, which will probably the first song will probably drop in April. Yep. So
Wow.
and already thinking about what's coming after that.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Time is life is short. There's
It
not enough
is.
hours in the day. So
But you know what? It's short, but you are living it real sweet. And I'm just inspired by the fact that you are a study in leadership. Like, there are so many people out here that give advice, and everybody is an influencer, and everybody is a mogul, and everybody is a guru. But you're a study in leadership. And if anybody understands what a study in leadership is, money can't buy it. And Yvonne, that you have it. You have it. You exude it. And
thank you.
so we salute you for that. And so what I want to do is I want to transition and I want to kind of begin to wrap up and talk about your life as a vocal coach though. What does that really look like?
That was um, I was a vocal coach at Roosevelt all the way. I don't even remember how many years it's been. It was, I don't know. I was probably right at the 10-year mark, and they implemented a special program at this time in the school because many a times you have to have a degree in order to teach music. So I went in under this program. I can't remember what the name of the program was, but it was the best teachers or the best coaches are people who are still doing this, who are living this life. So I took my life experience. I shared my life experience with them. They allowed me to 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 make suggestions on how you can tweak this or tweak that, how you can get the most out of your stage presence. And it was a cool gig for all those years that it lasted. But it was not anything that I set out to do. It just I kind of just fell into it. So
It was in your it was written.
it was in
You
the
know,
cards.
it was. My grandmother used to always say, when you're born into this world, your story is already written. Now
Yeah.
you can tweak it a little bit, but there are certain tenets that are gonna always prevail no matter how much you run. And
And
so,
it's true. It is true. And when I first went in the classroom, um, I was under the tutelage of my good buddy and mentor, Jeff Morrow. And I learned a lot of things from him because he is just excellent, you know. So I was very green in the classroom at first. And then I had to stand back and figure out my what would work for me. And so it was a growth for me. And I have students that I still am in contact with. I still, they still let me know that they appreciate me, and that is huge to me.
wow. Guys, I enjoy speaking with individuals who be creatives, innovators, and leaders that have a story of consistency, of love, and of hard work. Yvonne, you are once again the epitome of that. You are a study in leadership, and I am just so excited and so grateful that you accepted the invitation to break bread here on It's Consulting Time. And so I definitely want you to let everybody know where they can find you on all of your socials.
And I'm doing that. As I said, I'm posting. So I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Snapchat. I guess soon to be on TikTok and whatever else comes after that. Um, the album Feel Love is available everywhere. I hope you love it. I think that there's something on there for everyone. And I just want to thank you for having me on here. It was a pleasure. You can call me anytime.
Well, guys, Feel Love is streaming everywhere. Make sure you run up Yvonne Gage Music, baby. That's YVONNEGAGE Music. Make sure you follow her. Make sure you tell auntie, uncle, brother, sister, side piece, sneaky link. Tell them all to follow Yvonne Gage because she got it going on. And thank you so much, Yvonne. And remember, you are always welcome here to bring your joy, your jewels, and your justice.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have a great evening.
You too.
Guys, so I'm so excited to be back. It's utterly amazing. I gotta shout out my niece. I'm Big Lily. She's Little Lily, and she gave me this amazing Princess Studio this evening. While I am broadcasting live from Virginia, I am so excited, to be amongst family for a couple of days, and I'm just glad to be back. This is fun. This is where it's at. I like sitting right here with you in your living rooms, in your kitchens, in your car, even if you're sitting in Bible study tonight, because I know some people have Bible study on Tuesday night. So even if you're sitting in Bible study tonight and you're just glancing at your phone trying to see what we're talking about, guys, thank you so much. For your support over the past 5, 6, 7 years. And so I'm super excited for what's to come. We'll be back next week, same time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with more amazing creatives, innovators, and leaders. So have a great night, ladies and gentlemen.